start with you, Ms. Murray, for this next question. In recent months, the January 6th committee made its case with testimony of dozens of Republicans, Trump aides, and administration officials that former President Trump was personally responsible for the January 6th riot. How do you feel about the findings of the committee, and how much responsibility do you attribute to Trump?
I was in the Capitol on January 6th. I was stuck in my office. I didn't get to run out of the Senate like Josh Hawley did. I was locked in a room with insurrectionists pounding on my door. I heard what they said. I heard what their goal was. It was to take over a peaceful transfer of power using brute force. I will not ever forget that day. I walked away from a terrifically horrible situation and realized for the first time in my life that our democracy doesn't happen just because you think it's there. Our democracy is something you have to fight for. We can never allow brute force to take over our votes or our voices. I will fight every day to make sure that we never allow those people who continue the big lie, including my opponent on her website before she changed it in July, to question that election, because that sows mistrust in our country for our democracy. It is critical that we hold everyone accountable and never allow our democracy to be taken away. We have to fight for it. I'm going to fight for it. And I want our country to know that this is a critical issue in this election.
Thank you, Ms. Smiley.
Yeah, I don't know who gave you that talking point, Senator Murray, but I have my agenda for political recovery and reform to turn crisis into hope, and I address this issue because our elections are important to the people all over this country. And in fact, you questioned the 2004 presidential election as well. So I think this is on both sides of the aisle. And to be clear and to the point, you know, we watched January 6th, and I had to describe to my husband, who lost his eyesight serving our country, what was unfolding. It was heartbreaking for us. And those who broke the law should be held to the full extent of our judicial system and our law. But I want to be clear on this. My husband lost his eyesight fighting for our country. He's here in this debate listening to us. He lost his eyesight fighting for democracy, and our family lives with that sacrifice every single day. It's certainly why I'm in this fight as well. And so I want to ask, you know, do you believe that me and my family are a threat to democracy, Senator Murray? Because tell everyone here today, either that or disavow your campaign's dangerous rhetoric that has spent millions of dollars to attack and paint me as someone I am not. That's what's on the ballot this November. I am here to unify, to bring us together, to serve this country. This is not about politics. This is about the United States of America.
Thank you. I do want to ask a follow-up on this topic that I don't know that either of you have necessarily addressed yet. We'll start with you, Ms. Murray. What do you say to Washington residents and your constituents who believe that the 2020 election was not valid? You'll have 30 seconds.
I will say, first to my opponent, no one questions her belief in our democracy or her husband's fight for our country, ever. But do not conflate that with misconstruing about the intent of insurrectionists who were using their brute force to overtake the peaceful transfer of power. Using our votes and our voices is what a democracy is about. All of you here tonight are participating in your democracy by being here, but we cannot allow brute force.
Ms. Smiley, you'll have 30 seconds. What do you say to voters who say that the 2020 election was not valid?
I say use your voices and vote. I mean, we have to move forward as a country. And again, Senator Murray's dangerous rhetoric that she spent millions of dollars behind all over this state is further dividing us. So we need to vote. We need to come together and know that we live in the greatest country in the world. We are the shining beacon on a hill. We can move forward, and we will move forward. But you know, Patty Murray just goes along with Washington, D.C. I'm here.
We'll start with you, Ms. Smiley, for this on another topic.